New background, I hope you love it so much. I just graduated college, and this video took place my junior year of college at East Carolina University. Now at East Carolina University, the School of Music had an annual concerto competition. And during my junior year, I entered and I ended up winning. I had made a video about this before. Now after you win the concerto, you get to perform your concerto with the orchestra. Now this is a pretty big honor for me because the last saxophone player to win the concerto competition at my school was actually Chris Bullock from Snarky Puppy, and this was over a decade ago. Now, does this mean I'll have a thriving career like Chris Bullock? Highly doubt it, but it's okay. I have no expectations. Is that a great idea? Probably not. Anyway, my mom uploaded the concerto performance with the orchestra, and I refused to upload it on my channel. The reason is because there's some nuanced things I don't like about it, and I didn't want to risk anyone using this recording as a reference. I don't think it's worthy of being a reference, and I'll show you why. But I'm not only going to critique myself, I'm also going to compliment myself on the moments I did like. So I'm just going to try to be as honest as I can. So we're going to watch this video, and I'm going to have some commentary on it, and hopefully we can have a fun viewing experience, or an experience that just makes me want to cry again. Okay, put on my headphones. Okay, here it is. Let's start. So if you saw my original video where I had just won this competition, I had critiqued my walk onto the stage. It was very awkward. My legs looked so long and lanky, and it was just the slowest, most awkward walk I could have possibly done. So this was a little bit of an improvement. It's still pretty slow, but whatever. And I was just recently notified at this moment that I had to shake the concertmaster's hand, and I didn't know that, so that kind of made me panic a little bit because I was like, I didn't practice this. How do you shake a hand again? But you know, it turned out fine. This is actually the tuxedo of my professor's son, because my professor, he really didn't like what I had, and I'm very glad he did, because this one looked a lot better on me than mine at the time. Ooh, I just remember how nervous I was. This is my first time performing with an orchestra. It's a long intro. Checking my reed, checking my saxophone, make sure everything is on. This, the conductor, by the way, is a pretty intense guy. He's very intimidating. He's from Brazil. There's a lot of fire. I love that vibrato on that B natural. It really reminds me of like a French type of culture type thing. Like, it's very French-esque. I like what I have so far. I like this sound. You know, this sound of a solo alto saxophone with an orchestra doesn't hit this right auditorium very often. So, you know, I was happy to be presenting that. And that low D, perfectly in tune right here. I was really glad about that. Thanks to the tuning CD, which I've been meaning to do a tutorial on. Remind me to do that. Okay. The A and do. was a little flat, but then I fixed it when I but you know, moving on. Could have been better. It's whatever. Right there, did you hear it? I had a little blip because really, I remember it, I was just so nervous out of my mind. That part's really not that hard. You just go up like this octatonic scale. But I had inserted a little E natural where there's no E natural. I didn't mean to do that. I just was so nervous, got caught in the moment, and I was like, ah. And the adrenaline was through the roof on a piece that required me to play very, you know what I mean? So it was hard, and it was my first time playing with an orchestra, so inexperience. Right there, I don't know if you noticed, but there's supposed to be a G sharp. I played a G natural. Again, another little just nervous memory flub. But I do fine with the memory from here on out, but I do mess up memory way later, and I'll point it out. I like that. If you put a little pushing motion with your air on the leading tones, you get a nice little musical effect. So I was pretty happy with that, but right before all the fast stuff, I did a little too staccato. I believe on the music there's some big legato markings right there. So that's what I should have did, but I did staccato. So minus a few points for that, Nathan. I remember being relieved. From right here, my adrenaline kind of went away. It's not that it went away, it just kind of dawned on me like, okay, I'm here. Like, I've established my presence. Let's play the piece now. Oh man, it was just so satisfying to finally hear this song I first heard in high school behind me, and now I'm performing. It was really cool. I'm really happy with this so far. Intonation, spot on. That part is such a cool part, like when it reaches the E. But some reason, I didn't really hear that contrast and hear it. Usually that's the part that gives me goosebumps, but I feel like we could have wavered the tempo a little more, but really that was on to me to decide that in rehearsal, and I did not. You know, it's one of the things I regret, but you know, you live and you learn. I like this part. Ran out of breath. Okay. Not bad. I just think I could have done more with forward motion in the airstream. Just in general, I think it's just boring. I mean, I think I could have done more with deciding tempo changes and maybe more accelerandos, retardandos. It's just too stagnant right now. Like if I was in the audience, I probably would have dazed out by now. And I feel like keeping the attention span of the listener is really important. And I'm not doing a great job. I love that part. I was about to say I wish I held that low D longer. Do, 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 do. But then that A came. That do, do. It was almost like I held it too long, so it's kind of funny. That low C sharp came out perfectly. I'm pretty happy about that. I remember that. Ooh. So I really like that part. It reminds me of like a whip, just amazing. I'm really glad I gave you that visual demonstration. I really like how I tapered my high B. Oh my god, I have the worst voice. That part right there is what I did last time. So I had fixed that for this performance, and I'm glad that it came out that way. So I really like that part, especially that. It just sounds so cool with the solo saxophone. But the thing where I went up that first little diminished pattern. I think I did that top note a little too short. I wish I just held that out just a tad longer, just to let it resonate. Ah, good taper. That was another thing I was unhappy about my other performance. So I had fixed that for this, and okay. Yes, low notes come out. Yes. A little shaky. I love that part. How many moments do you get to say, I play classical saxophone and I'm about to start a fugue with an orchestra? That part right there, I remember that being really hard to memorize, especially just by going off ear. So this is one of those moments where memorizing metrically, like the actual measure numbers and how much you have to rest, that really saved my butt here. And I'm glad, because it was really hard for me to figure this out purely by ear. Getting like Peter Pan vibes right now. Call and response. Ah, come on. That should have been more forceful. I was like, come on, Nathan. It's a little better, but the C at the end could have been better. I remember this. This was probably my favorite moment in this whole piece. So the orchestra was so busy with all this melody and stuff going on, and here I come with this simple melody on top of all this texture. Really nice moment. That's where I felt most conscious. I was just like, ah. That's where I felt most in the moment. That E could have been a little more thick. It was too shrill for me, or whatever. You gotta love those trills. Why are they there? Who knows? I like this next part coming. It's so cool. Like, there's a little metric displacement. If you put emphasis on that leading tone again, it sounds like you're kind of telling a story. That's what I had imagined what Glazunov was going for. At least in that part. Okay, so I remember in the actual rehearsal, there was this kind of moment where I was following the orchestra more than I was following the conductor, and the conductor finally kind of yelled at me for that. He's a very intense guy, you know, he means business, and I really like that about him. When you conduct, there's a natural delay that's going to happen. So when I followed the band, I just sounded like I was dragging. At some point, the conductor here finally got a little frustrated, and he was like, follow me, follow me. I was like, okay. And then once we made that switch, it was fine, but following him was a challenge because he was so fast, and I really had to have this technically under my fingers, and thankfully I did. But there is one aspect that I did not feel prepared. You'll see it towards the end. We're getting there. Okay, so before you hear this next part, okay, so was another moment where after this happened, I was in my head for the rest of the performance, like, dang, I just blew the whole performance. I'm the worst. Wow, I've just committed an atrocity. But pretty much I had a brain fart, you know, a memory slip. So I literally improvised. I just improvised till I got my memory back, and you'll hear it. That just sounds bad, but that's not it. Did you hear that? Let me go back. God. That alone would make me not post this to my channel by itself, ever. Low notes coming right out. My notes, I can hear my notes getting shorter. I remember this, I was very fatigued. My throat just felt like it was cut by 4,000 knives, and I just was like, dang, my embouchure's just gone. So right there, I was really following the conductor. Like, my peripheral vision was just spot on. You know, I'm not gonna stare at him like, but I was just more like I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at you. You know what I mean? Yes, slow C, come out. Okay, nice altissimo G. Okay, so this is that part I was talking about where I had to follow him, and I'd realized the speed he's going. The only way I was going to be able to play this with the articulations is if I double-tongued it. But I had not practiced this part double-tongued, and my professor insisted that I practice this part double-tongued. But, you know, I didn't, because I was a resistant little boy who thought I could just single-tongue my life away because Rudy Whiteoff did it. But I'm not Rudy Whiteoff. I had to make a split-second decision. I could either attempt to double-tongue it and more than likely flop it all and live in regret for the rest of my life and just put a mask on right after this concert and hope no one sees me, or I could just slur it all and then wallow in my own misery later in private. And that's the one I did. So I'm really not that unhappy with that performance, but I wouldn't post it, and I wouldn't recommend anyone for it as a reference recording. I would recommend other ones. Okay, so it is 4:16 a.m. So I know I'm going to regret this very much, but I'll get an energy drink or coffee. I'll wake up. Okay, well, I'm going to shut this off. Good night. Thanks for watching.